Welcome, I'm Mark Eberra, pioneer and inventor of the GSI algorithm, chairman, CEO, and founder of 1 Billion Live Inc. You can read my bio at markeberra.com. The GSI stands for Guaranteed Sales Increase. It's a mathematical equation that makes it possible for you to get a guaranteed sales increase for every product you advertise in any media. And today I'm going to work the equation and show you how it's done. But before we get into the math, I want to talk to you about how advertising is traditionally sold to business. Advertising is traditionally sold to business with big TV shows, superstars, sports, glitz, glamour, lots of Hollywood hype that makes us want to be part of the show and part of the stars and all the entertainment that we see. It really appeals to our emotions to the point of making businesses fork over $600 billion in global advertising sales every year. However, we realize you're in business, not show business. And when you're in business, we know if you want to stay in business, you must make sales. In fact, your sales must increase. That's why I invented the GSI. Let's take a look at the equation itself. G for guarantee equal S over I for increase. Now it's a polymathic algorithm invented by myself for calculating the exact number of sales a business will make from advertising a product. For the first time, it's now possible to guarantee an increase in sales for every product advertised in any media. Now let's do the math. Let's take an example. A soft drink company wants to guarantee sales increases for advertising 1 liter bottles of soda. Okay, so the first step is to determine the maximum weekly revenue from selling a product. Now the revenue is equal to X, the number you are making times the price, which is P. And this is represented mathematically as R of X equal XP. So when selling 500 bottles of soda times $1, which is the price, the maximum weekly revenue is $500. Now this next formula is something you will be familiar with if you've studied calculus. We're going to use this formula to determine the profit on our advertising, because if you're going to sell those 500 bottles of soda, you're going to need advertising, and in this case, we're going to have a guaranteed sales increase for those ads. So let's continue. P of X equal R of X minus C of X. P equal profit, R equal revenue, and C equals cost. Now revenue is our guaranteed sales increase, or as the formula is, the big G S over I, where R equals $500 into net new revenue. Now let me take a moment to explain into. This is my personal notation so that I can remember that the $500 we're guaranteeing in revenue is net new revenue. That means revenue above and beyond any other revenue that you're making. This is important because let's say you have those 1 liter bottles of soda already on the shelves in retail stores. Well, in that case, people are already in the store shopping, so they're going to be buying the soda. Maybe someone's buying it on impulse, or you could have other advertisements running for the soda for a sale for that weekend. All kinds of reasons that people are going to be already buying that soda, and you're going to be making sales on it. So if you decide to advertise it, then your advertising needs to give you an increase in sales above what you're normally making. That's called net new revenue. Now, cost of the advertising is $100. That's given. Let's just say there's a TV station locally that's going to charge you $100 for a 15-second ad on TV. So there's your cost, and we just write it out as C equals 100. And all we have to do is find P of X, and we do that by $500 minus $100 equals $400, which the profit from the advertising is $400 into our net new revenue because we use the GSI. Now, as you see, we don't do all the math on the GSI equation itself, but we plug it into the price equation. And the reason why we don't show you the math on the GSI is because it's proprietary and patent pending. We filed our first patents on the algorithm back in 2007. We've been testing it for almost 10 years now, or over 10 years. So we know it works. It's been done before and it's certified. So let's just cut to the bottom line. What does all of this mathematics have to do with your business? Well, let's see what the GSI looks like with a quarterly sales report. Now let's say you decide that you want to use a GSI to increase your sales from the 500 bottles of cola that we previously determined to say 10,000 bottles. So you have a GSI of $10,000 in April. Then you use the GSI again in May and you bring in 50,000. That's 25,000. And then in June you bring in 50,000. And then in July all the way up to $100,000. Now you're able to do that because you have a mathematical equation that tells you how many sales you're going to make before you advertise. And before you pay for your advertising, you're able to make your sales, collect your money, then you pay. And that's the certainty of math and the honesty of math and advertising and the way it should be done. So what does that mean to your bottom line when you have a quarterly sales report and ability like that? Well, every quarter you can make those sales. And that means that your profits will rise, your stock price will increase, and that if you get a bonus or a salary increase from stocks like profit sharing, then you're going to have a bonus salary increase. And of course, all of this adds up to earnings call success, because we know every quarter, every publicly traded company must have an earnings call with their investors to explain about the increase in sales. And when you're able to say we have a guaranteed sales increase, a mathematical algorithm that is produced monthly sales increases, it doesn't matter whether you're going for 100,000 or $1 billion in sales. If you have the ability to manufacture and distribute, say, those sodas, 1 billion of them, then you can plug in the GSI and guarantee yourself 1 billion sales, and that's going to make everyone happy. That's going to make everyone want to buy stocks in your company, and that will make everyone increase in their profits who have the stocks and share in the stocks in your corporation. So the bottom line is a GSI brings profit to your company. If you don't have a GSI though, those profits can all go up in smoke and flames. So make sure you have a GSI. Now I want to talk to you about today's headlines in advertising and show you how the GSI is helping to solve a lot of the problems that we have and face in the advertising world. There's a lot of abuse and fraud in advertisement, and this is one of the motivations that I have for creating the GSI. And these are recent headlines that I just picked off right from trade journals and newspapers. Look at this. On the first headline just really blew me away. This is something that just caught my attention. It says, without changes, ad fraud may reach $150 billion annually. So we know there's $600 billion being spent on advertising. And to think of $150 billion of that as all fraudulent advertising, that's your money. And that's a big waste. So the GSI will definitely help make all that fraud go away. Let's take a look at another headline. And this one says, agency media kickbacks pervasive, high-level execs signed off. Now what this means is that there's kickbacks going on in advertising agencies. For example, let's say you bought that advertisement for $100, the one we used in our initial equation, and you hired a media agency to go buy it for you. Well, the media agency may have called the TV station in this hypothetical example, and the TV station may have said, yes, the ad's 15 seconds, $100. Then they would have told you, the client, the business, that the ad is, say, $300, and they would have put the other $200 in their pocket. Now, not all agencies work this way, but it's very rampant and very widespread in the industry, and there's no way for a client to tell whether you're getting ripped off by fraudulent advertising, or if you're buying ad fraud in the terms of, say, like a online ad for a website and they don't place it online, or they place it in inappropriate places, or even if you're being sold these things called impressions or clicks or views. You don't know that's real on the internet. That could all be robots, computers that go around making these stats up, yet you have to pay. But when you go with a GSI, when you base it on your sales and how much money's coming into your business, you know exactly the value of your advertising, and all your fraud goes away. And you get a lot of benefit from that. That's right. A tectonic shift in the world of advertising is occurring with the GSI equation. Stops the fraud of online video, search, and website ads. We mentioned that headline just a few minutes ago, where there's a lot of fraud on online video search and website ads. When people buy the ads and they're sold statistics, or traffic, or views, or clicks, or impressions, or whatever name they want to give you, you're paying for these computerized stats that could all be created by other computers and mean literally nothing to you in terms of your bottom line. But with a GSI, you know you're making sales and you're making cash. So that type of fraud goes away. The GSI provides complete transparency. Remember our example about how agencies could, if they wanted to, get kickbacks from the media companies, and you would never know you're being charged 2, 3, 4 times the cost of ads because it's not in your contract and they're doing it fraudulently. Well, if up front you have every media seller give you a guaranteed sales increase in writing, if you have the algorithm plugged in and you do the math and you make your sales in advance before you pay for your advertising, it's impossible for there to be any fraudulent advertising that way. So the GSI provides complete transparency. It's delivered with the precision of physics and engineering, and is guaranteed by the absolute certainty of mathematics. Our guarantee is 1 plus 1 will equal 2. So whatever number we come out with when we plug in a GSI equation, you know it's mathematics. You don't have to have faith in it. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to worry about it. You know you're going to get it, and that's why you should always get your sales in advance, make your money in advance, and then pay for your advertising after the sales are complete. Now, normally, a media company won't do this for you, but if they got a GSI, they can. So where can you get a GSI for all your advertisement? 1 Billion Live, the global broadcast network launching in 2016, is the exclusive licensee of the GSI. Now, to advertise for the GSI, you can email us at 1@1billionlive.com or visit us at www.1billionlive.com. Until then, aloha.